Welcome to the Elevate Your Running podcast. This is Coach Sarah, and today's episode is our last episode of 2025. And today I want to talk about 2025 and what we can do in 2026 to show up to be our best, strongest, most authentic self. So 2025 was a great year for running. It was a great year for the running community. We have hit all-time highs in terms of running and run clubs and races selling out fast. So it's been a bittersweet supply and demand issue that some of us have been navigating around. But it's also been a really great way to stay connected with others, whether you're part of an in-person team and maybe you get to make those in-person connections every week or throughout the week, or maybe you're part of a virtual club where you get to meet online or you're texting over a WhatsApp thread or an Instagram group. I think it's an incredible way to stay connected with the running community. So I highly recommend and invite you to review your 2025 of running before we start the new year. And some things that you can consider are your races completed, your training cycles finished and donezo, check mark, maybe your monthly and yearly overall running mileage, maybe your cross training time that you've put in. Maybe you are a runner that has really embraced more cross training, and that's going to be a huge win for your 2025 because that cross training has maybe elevated your racing experience or has kept you staying healthy in the process. Your process goals achieved are an excellent part to review. The connections made in running and through running, confidence boosting moments. These are the elevated wins. Maybe it's that workout, it's that long run, it's that training cycle. Maybe it's the overall year of being consistent. Whatever it is, those confidence boosting moments are key to review in 2025. And then, of course, like the overall what worked, what didn't work. All the athletes that I work with know this to be true. It's something that we talk about after every training cycle. Let's highlight the wins. Let's look at everything that worked. And then let's kind of review things that maybe didn't work as well. Do we want to change them? Do we want to enhance them for the next time? Or do we want to just leave them and not even bring them with us into the next training cycle? So what do you want to take with you into 2026? This could be everything I just reviewed on the list. You might have your own things that you want to add into it. Everything else that doesn't make the list gets to stay in 2025. See ya. Don't want to see you again, right? And then as we prepare for 2026, I think it's really, really important to take a look at what you want to create. So I'm already having a lot of conversations. By the time this podcast airs, I'll have most of my conversations completed with runners in their planning for 2026. What does that look like? What do you want to create? So here is a notable conversation that I had a few weeks ago with one of my athletes. And so we started the planning conversation by I asked her what or when you start your training cycle, which is going to begin in late January. So we have a lot of time between then and now. How do you want to be better than you are today? And I think that's such a strong question to ask because it really gets the gears moving, right? Like, how do you want to show up to be better when you start your next training cycle? This runner said that she wanted to be more confident in her abilities. She wanted to be physically stronger. And she also wanted to start the cycle coming off a consistent holiday training season. And I think we can all agree that the holidays can get us kind of maybe a bit off schedule, which a lot of times is awesome, right? This runner in particular needs to be consistent. She really thrives on consistency because she has been in the past very inconsistent before she started working with a coach. So consistency for her is really important. Now, consistency isn't running every single day. Consistency isn't running everything that's on the schedule. Being consistent is looking more at the 30,000 foot view and saying, I have been consistent in this week, in this month, and in this cycle. So I said, great. I love these process-oriented goals. What are you going to do to increase your probability of achieving these things. I want you to lay this out for me. How are you going to get it done? Because a lot of times we can say, oh, Coach Sarah, I have a goal of drinking more water. I'm like, great. How are you going to do that? Because it's very easy to say things that you want to do. And it's also very different to be able to execute on those things and make it happen. So if you have an actionable plan of exactly what you're going to do, it definitely helps. So for this athlete, she asked, I'm not actually sure. Can we talk about it? Which is a very normal response when I talk about process goals. So we then proceeded to lay out a game plan for her base season of running before she starts her training cycle for late January. So she wants to prioritize sleep. So by doing that, she's going to turn off her screens 30 minutes before going to bed and starting to dim the lights. I think this is a great process goal. She also wants to get back into strength training. And this is something I see with a lot of athletes who maybe fall off the strength training routine once they come out of their big fall A goal race season. So she wants to commit to 2 30-minute sessions a week. I think that's excellent. They are already loaded on her final surge for 2 certain days out of the week that already work for her. And she's built them into her calendar. So she knows that she's doing them for her. This works right after running. So she's going to combine a run and then go right into a 30-minute strength routine. She is a mom. She's super busy. She runs early in the morning. So that's when this gets to happen. And then she's committing to run 5 days a week. She's running before work because, like I said, she has kids, she has a family, and this is the easiest time that she can get in running because, as we all know, I think with whether we have families, kids, work obligations, volunteer obligations, friends, there's so many things that can come up during the day that make it really difficult to get out for a run after everything is done for the day. Plus, we're pretty exhausted at that point, right? And then she also noted that she wants to spend quality time with family and she does want to work on visualization. So I think after we had the first 3 process goals, I think that's a good amount of process goals to take with us over the next 2 months, essentially, from when we had our conversation. So after this plan was set, I asked her to make, or I suggested one more thing. I said, every day, as we are going through this process, as you are going through this process, I invite you to write down everything you're doing to close the gap from where you are currently and where you want to be at the end of January with these top 3 process goals: sleep, strength, and consistency. Now, you might be saying to yourself, every day seems like a lot. So I invite you to maybe do this once a week. Maybe on a Sunday, you review your entire week of training and you write down everything that you're doing to close the gap from where you are to where you want to be in January. Specifically for this athlete, I suggested every day and she suggested once a week. So these weekly reviews are her preparation receipts. And your future self is going to thank you because you're going to be able to objectively look at where you started, how far you've come over that course of time. For this athlete, that's going to be 2 months. And there's going to be an undeniable body of evidence that you did exactly what you said you were going to do. So that's going to build trust. It's going to build consistency. It's going to build strength. You're going to prioritize sleep, and that's going to feel really good too. And these are your preparation receipts. Everything that you want to create is going to be right there in front of you. And at the start of your training cycle, you're going to be able to say, I did it. I did it. I did everything I said I was going to do. And this is a big piece to the training cycle. So you could, for you, the listener, you could pick a date 2 months from now, just like this athlete and I had a conversation 2 months before her next training cycle starts, and ask yourself the same question. On this particular day, how do I specifically want to be better than I am today? And then you can choose 3 to 5 daily behaviors or process goals, or maybe they're weekly process goals that are going to increase your probability of getting there. To be able to say, I did it. I completed it. I'm stronger for it. I am ready to go in this cycle. And everyone is going to have a different set of these behaviors or process goals. And these become your process receipts and your preparation receipts. And it's a really, really cool way to build confidence when you're in a season between seasons. It's a really great way to build confidence when you're in the holiday season and you might think, oh gosh, it's just too overwhelming to do anything, so I'm just not going to do anything. How many of us fall into that category, right? But if you can focus on a few daily or weekly behaviors and then prove to yourself that you're doing them and make them attainable, you don't need to make them into some big thing. Like the strength training routine doesn't need to be 2 or 3 1-hour sessions. Twice a week for 30 minutes is awesome. Just stay off your phone, stay focused, be consistent in that 30 minutes, and you're going to get a lot of work done. A lot of work done. So I often talk about training deposits and how valuable they are for a big withdrawal on race day. So I want you to think about how we spend our time now before we go into our training cycle as preparation receipts. So what can we do to prepare and have receipts that we can prove to ourselves we have done the work, we are ready to go for this new season of training? It's so exciting. I love this concept. I love this idea. All the athletes are getting this talk, plus so much more in their planning hour that they get as we head into 2026. So with that, I want to thank you so much for your time, your attention, your messages this year. It's been an incredible year of podcasting. It's been an incredible year of coaching, building the Elevate team, the community, the brand. It's been a lot of fun, and we're just getting started. I mean, I'm in my 4th year of doing this collectively as a coach and as a podcaster, and I feel like I'm just like getting my stride down. So I'm super excited of creating more content and creating, maybe some slight changes to the way the podcast is in 2026, but it's going to be elevated. It's going to be fun, and it's going to be educational. And I know it's going to be a great way to elevate your training, your running, and your life in 2026. So I hope everyone has a warm and comforting holiday season and a joyful new year. And I'll be back with a brand new episode with a special guest on Thursday, January 8th to discuss our favorite mindset practice, visualization. So it's an entire episode on visualization. And hey, if you are in the season between seasons and you're looking for a season of speed, my new Taylor Swift Swifty Speed Era 8-week training plan is now available. This is an 8-week plan designed for the runner who might be between the training cycles. Maybe you want to stay motivated during the holidays or during the winter months, or you're just looking to have a lot of fun with the Taylor Swift era inspired workouts. Additional information can be found in the description box of this podcast episode and is available in Final Search for easy to access planning and downloading. And of course, if you're looking to elevate your running in 2026 and you want to work one-on-one with an Elevate coach, we have some virtual coaching spots open, as well as Denver and Boulder group coaching sessions. Feel free to reach out through email at sarah@elevateyourrunning.com. Thanks everyone for a great year, and I'll see you next year.